Welcome to Session 2 of the Molly of Denali Virtual Family Community Learning Workshop. I'm Cindy Putnam.
And I'm Chelsea Gifford.
And I'm Riley.
And this is our friend Riley, and today our session focuses on learning about each other. One of the things that Molly is based on, the show Molly of Denali on PBS Kids, and the main character Molly, is her native Alaskan values. And we talked about that before. There are values that are important to Molly and to her community, and we have values that are important to ourselves and to our community. And so today we're going to be learning about using the Molly and Me planner. We're going to be learning about each other. And so in learning about each other with our Molly and Me planner, and if you don't have these materials, you can download these offline on PBS Learning Media at the Molly of Denali collection. We're going to be talking about a biography. And Chelsea, what is a biography?
A biography is a book that is written by somebody else about a famous person or somebody in history. I brought an example with me. Most people have heard of George Washington, our first president. So it's informational text that gives you a background about somebody's life.
All right, and so can they find those at the library?
Oh yeah, we have 2 sections of biographies in the children's library alone. One is the juvenile biographies, and then there are easier biographies if you're just figuring out learning to read. So the words are bigger and more spaced out and simpler sentences, so if you have those early learners, this is a good start.
All right, so we're going to be learning about each other, and we learn in the video that you can watch with your children about today's session that Molly discovers that there's a very famous fiddle player that lives in her village, and she discovers that because she finds a piece of informational text that was in a magazine. Now, Miss Chelsea is a librarian. Are there actually magazines that can have informational text about famous people?
Absolutely. We've got a good selection here at the library about animals. I don't know if you've heard of zoo books and highlights magazines and all kinds of different types of magazines where you can find information about people.
So, Molly's going to do a bio sketch. And Miss Chelsea, that's a new word for me. What is a bio sketch?
Let's read. A bio sketch is a short biographical text that includes the name and facts about a person. The purpose of a bio sketch is to convey information about a person and their life to others. It usually includes a picture of the person and important or interesting facts such as a birthday, birthplace, important life events, and special skills or talents.
Yes, and our friend Riley today has been helping us, and he's going to do a different kind of bio sketch. And Riley, you want to share these? These are little cutouts that we found, and these are in the package that you picked up from the library. And this is Riley's mom, and this is Riley. So on the beginning, or on the front of this, he started telling me things, characteristics, attributes about his mom, that she's helpful, that she's funny, that she's smart. And then Riley said he was curious, brave, and loves to learn. And on the back of this, they can put their birthday, the city where they live, and another fact about them. So Riley's going to be working on those while Miss Chelsea and I talk to you today, and then we'll show you his finished product at the end of our session. So you want to work on those, Riley?
Yep.
So Miss Chelsea, also included in the packet was another sheet that we have for our families.
Yes, so in your packet you'll find a star sheet, Stars in My Life template. And that is so that you can work on, if you have some other people that maybe aren't your mom or dad or siblings, but other stars in your life that are important to you, a friend, a neighbor,
A teacher,
yes,
a librarian.
Anybody that's special to you, this is a good starter to write down names that you think of that are important people in your life.
Shooting stars, people that have supported you and helped you be a better person, because again today we're learning about each other. So what Molly decides to do is she decides to write a bio sketch about someone who lives in her town. Now Miss Chelsea brought some books about famous people but there are also famous people that live in our town. So do a little research, families, about famous people that live in the Upper Cumberland area. And the library is a great place to come and search. And actually, you all have a genealogy room upstairs. So it's a great place, parents, to help your children know who they are and where they come from. So tell me a little bit about what Molly did in her artifact sketch. That was a bio sketch of Mr. Patak, her friend.
Yeah, so she started out, I think she did an interview with Mr. Patak to find out more about his life. And so she wrote a quick little bio sketch, and you can find this in your planner and also up here on the screen. And so she found out that he owns a wood shop in town. He makes pretty much anything out of wood, and he can make bird whistles from wood, which I think is pretty cool. So she learned everything there is to know about Mr. Patek, drew a picture, and on the next page, you can work on one on your own. So it's asking you to talk about the person that you're interested in, and then jot down some interesting points. So similar to what Riley's doing, you can put an outline on here before you add it to your character.
And the interesting thing about it is that Mr. Patak, he was a craftsman, and we have a lot of wonderful artists. A great place to take a field trip would be to the Appalachian Craft Museum, because those are all the things that native artists have made. But we have potters in Cookeville. We have the great bicycle sculpture that's down on the west end of Cookeville, down by the depot. It's really great to take your children on those free field trips that you can go to and find out and explore about people in our community that are creating and making great things. So, like Miss Chelsea said, you have the people who are stars in your life sheet, and then learning about each other. Miss Chelsea, what are some of the questions that the Learning About Each Other research page has for the children to fill in?
Yeah, so it wants you to list the person you're researching, and then what are some interesting and important facts to share about this person?
And that could be a special skill, a special talent. Maybe they can speak another language, or maybe they are really great at making something. Maybe they make quilts, or maybe they make baskets, or maybe they make rockets. Who knows? But there's all kinds of talented people that live in our area. So a bio fact or a bio sketch is an artifact that you could actually put in a museum. And if you go to the Children's Museum section at the Children's Library, the Children's Museum here, you're here at the Children's Library, but at the Children's Museum, you can find bio sketches about people on the wall, pictures of them, and something that tells about them and what they did and what was important. So here's a bio sketch about a person who was very important in her tribal community. And then she was also an artist who did a series of paper dolls. And that's the way that we can learn about each other. There are always great articles and things about people in our area. The game today is Denali Trading Post. Molly's parents own the Trading Post, so you can go there and play the game, and that's a really great way for kids to learn about different artifacts and different things. You can also take pictures while you're out looking in our community, and then there is a source on PBS Learning Media where the Family and Community Learning Workshop information is, and all of the resources. And it actually offers books, Chelsea, that our friends can check out from the library or look at. And how nice to start a collection of those books or those types of books in your own home.
Yeah, and don't worry, don't feel overwhelmed. We're going to put links underneath the description of this video. So if you're looking for the PBS Learning Media online, or need a link to the video or anything that we're talking about, we'll have that for you in this section.
And also, it's very important to celebrate the traditions of your family. So talk about things that your family has as a tradition. It could be a recipe, it could be an artifact, it could be a special quilt, it could be something that's been passed down from generation to generation, or it can be something that you and your children make this summer, and it becomes a very special artifact in your family. Miss Chelsea, thank you so much for doing this session. And Riley, can we see your finished work that you've almost completed? And this is Riley, and again, Riley is curious, he's brave, and he loves to learn. And so this is a great time, parents, to really help your children understand the unique and special qualities that they have that make them an important part of your family. Good job, Riley. And next time, we are going to be talking about really great things about Molly of Denali, so you don't want to miss session number 3. Thanks, and remember, you can always watch Molly of Denali on PBS Kids.
Bye.
Bye.